So I know I've been MIA and the videos have been a little delayed, but I had to come back and talk to you guys about one of the best movies ever made. Let's discuss. Testing. 1, 2, 3. This is the young prince by the name of Beasley. What's up, y'all? It's your boy Beasley here. Hope you all are staying cool, calm, and collected out there. Y'all, I just had to come and talk to you guys about this amazing movie by the name of Cruella de Vil, the origin stories of the Disney villain from the 101 Dalmatians known as Cruella. Cruella, y'all, this is one of the best movies I have ever seen in a very long time. Like, this movie was literally Devil Wears Prada meets the Dalmatians. Like, this was amazing, immensely talented actresses and actors. Like, y'all, this movie was just truly amazing. Like, the accents were down, the storyline was down, the character work was down, everything, the fashion, the makeup, the looks, the set pieces, the designs, everything. The acting skills, I probably said that already, but I don't care. Y'all, this movie was so good. Oh my God, I love this movie, y'all. Now, talking about the two main actresses, y'all, the sister Emmas, Emma Stone and Emma Thompson. I've been following Emma Thompson ever since she was on Easy A, and her career is just consistently elevated from there, and so is her skill set. She did not come to play with you hoes at all. Emma Stone did the damn thing as Cruella de Vil, y'all. Emma Stone with that British accent, the way she was looking in all those dresses, she looked on point. They did her makeup to a perfection. You couldn't even tell that was Emma Stone, y'all. She embodied, like, she did method acting. Like, she embodied Cruella de Vil. Like, you would have thought this was a biopic the way this movie was set up. This movie was so good. Like, if Emma Stone does not get nominated for an Oscar, I know something. Emma Thompson, I remember Emma Thompson from Nanny McPhee, and now look at her. She can embody any type of role that is given to her. Like, she literally transforms into her character, y'all. I haven't seen acting this good on screen in God knows how long, y'all. Like, I was so amazed at how talented these two women were. Like, I just was blown away by just the sheer talent that was on display in that movie screen. So getting into the movie, we start off, this is literally set up like a biopic, y'all. Like, you legit would have thought Cruella de Vil was a real human being, like a real fashion designer. But we start off as Cruella. Her real name is actually Estella. Cruella is a moniker that she embodied. And she actually was born with that two-tone black and white hair. And to me, that hair represents duality, like evil and good, dark and light. Dark and light exist within the same person. Everybody has a dark shadow side, everybody has a light side, and sometimes people just come in and they embody both of them. But y'all, from birth, she was shunned, mainly due to her hair. A lot of people weren't really vibing with it. She was an outcast from birth. People were not seeing it for her, they were not checking for her. She was constantly in school, getting kicked out of class, getting suspended, getting in trouble. She became a misfit because everybody treated her as a misfit. She never really got the chance to be acclimated into society. Now, full disclaimer, I'm going to try my best not to put any spoilers into this movie review, but there will be some slight spoilers. So basically, she's going through the motions as being like a troubled teenager, not a teenager, like a troubled little kid. And then she and her mom go off into London to find a new life. But on the way to London, her mom stops by a mysterious figure who becomes the main villain of the movie later on. She stops by to get help and assistance for her new living situation. Without saying too much, her mother is then killed by a pack of Dalmatians. They all run and tackle her. She was standing in front of a cliff and they pushed her right off. And it was in that moment that made me realize that, oh, this is why Cruella had such a hate for Dalmatian dogs back in the day, back in the 101 Dalmatians movie. Now, when her mom dies in front of her, she flees the scene and then she goes into London. She's at a fountain and then she meets two young men. I forgot their names, but they grow up and they're played by two very talented actors. They're both the comedic relief of the movie. They become a little trio. They grow up together. They enter into petty theft, stealing from literally any and everybody, and that's how they make their living. And what Cruella would do, she would design the costumes for them. Cruella basically designed all of their disguises for them, and they got away with every little heist that they pulled. Like, and then they entered into kind of like making clothes for themselves. Like, she always had like a keen sense of fashion, mainly from her mother, and mainly from her, I'm trying not to spoil it, y'all, but fashion runs in her bloodline, and I'm gonna leave it at that. So despite only having a career of nothing but petty theft, Cruella then lands a job at a very astute retail store, mainly because her friend snuck her application into the HR department. But she ends up what she thought she was gonna be, like a sales associate or a seamstress, but she ends up being the janitor of that store. So later on down the line, she sneaks into the store. Well, really, her boss is so fed up with her, but he forces her to clean up the whole entire place while it's I believe nighttime, after hours or whatever. And once she was done, Cruella went ahead and she changed the window display that she hated. Like, she kind of like vandalized it a little bit, but she put her own little crazy eclectic spin on it. Then the next day enters the Baroness. The Baroness comes in, she basically sees the window display, and she wants to figure out like who is responsible for that whole entire creative vision. There's an incident. Estella Cruella is almost kicked out of the whole entire store. She's almost fired, but she was seen just in time to get hired on by the Baroness. So once Cruella Estella gets acclimated into her new job at the Baroness's fashion house, she quickly becomes the top designer on her team. It's to a point where the Baroness literally takes a liking to her and instantly takes her under her wing. But little did the Baroness know that she was training her competition. And I forgot to mention this, when Cruella got into her teenage years, she kind of had to downplay who she was in order to fit in. She dyed her black and white hair red, and she kind of adapted a more like demure, kind of like almost quiet, slightly timid demeanor. But that all creeps out a little later on because she finally steps into who she truly is and kind of just says like, F it, I'm gonna be who I want to be. Take me as I am. What you see is what you get. And this aspect of the movie really spoke to me because for the longest I had to suppress myself in order to appease other people. Cruella de Vil was like, F that, I'm gonna be who I want to be. So later on, she kind of has to teeter between being Estella and also being Cruella. Like, she would be Cruella at night, she would crash the Baroness's events, and she actually became the Baroness's direct competition. She crashed every event and vandalized every single fashion show that the Baroness put on. And society was welcoming Cruella as like the new vision of fashion, like the new peak element of fashion, and the Baroness was kind of like the old. It was kind of like a whole Lil' Kim, Nicki Minaj, or Nicki Minaj, Cardi B situation with the two. Cruella was fresh, she was vivacious, she was rambunctious, she was unpredictable, she was everything that was needed in fashion, whereas the Baroness was serving the same old tired looks and the same old fashion shows. The character Cruella went through a lot of internal struggles to a point where she ripped the band-aid off and just became her authentic self. And it speaks to the fact that like society will accept you for who you really are. Like, you don't have to be somebody else or downplay yourself in order to make a name for yourself, in order to fit in. Sometimes you don't need to fit in. Sometimes you need to just do your own thing and the people will follow regardless. And speaking of the competition, y'all, the fashion was so on point. Especially, I think this movie mainly took place around like the years of like 1970s, 1980s, or 1960s and 1970s, somewhere in that area. But for that time period, y'all, the fashion, the looks, they were just amazing. Like, I haven't gone this up for fashion in movies since The Devil Wears Prada. This, like I've said earlier, this is literally the Disney's version of The Devil Wears Prada, like, but on crack. Y'all, I can't go, I almost can't even get my thoughts together correctly because I love this movie so much. Like, it is very rare that I see a movie that was a perfect 10. Like, I legit have nothing negative to say about this movie at all, y'all. Like, is this real life? And in the end, there is like a little bit of a huge plot twist that I didn't see coming, but I'm gonna just keep it all the way cute and just say that the character Estella dies. But you guys have to be the judge for yourself and see this movie. It is amazing. Out of a 10, I'll give it a 12. I just, like, y'all, like, this movie was just that good to me. Like, I'm almost speechless. Like, I almost want to cry about how good, like, that movie was a work of art. Like, this movie, y'all, was art. It didn't feel like a Disney movie at all. Like, this movie was, like, I could see this, like, multiple times, but really with me, when a movie is perfect like this, I only want to see it once. Because I want to remember that moment in time where I was when I saw that. And I actually saw this in theaters. It was worth the trip. It was worth risking getting COVID. It was worth every dime, y'all. Go see this movie. See this movie. You will not be disappointed, y'all. Oh my God. But I could say so much more about this movie, but I'm gonna just leave it at that. Those are my views, y'all. Go out and support your girl. Like I said, if Emma Stone or Emma Thompson do not get nominated for an Oscar, then I know something. But those are my views, so be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'm gonna come at you guys with some more content.